What's going on, everybody? My name is Marcus. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you guys what's going on this Friday morning. A lot of auctions have ended today. This is the second week in a row that I've done auctions. This time I ain't gonna mess it up, guys. I got all my ended auctions in an unsold file. I am going to go through each one of those items. Let's see, I got 30 something items that sold on auction, on the auction, and all throughout the week I've sold 20 items on $6 buy it now price. I got a couple more that I'm waiting to be paid for, but this time around I'm just going to go through what's left, and if it's still worthy of being listed, I'll relist it as a brand new listing, new photos, new title, new everything. And then whatever's not worth listing, I'll just donate. I am going to pull some items down. Some of those items that are okay might go into a Whatnot auction. Thank you for everybody that has followed me on Whatnot. Slow rolling, but I'll get there nonetheless, as far as the 100 followers that I want to have before I actually go in there and do a Whatnot. So hopefully you guys are having good sales. My sales are actually up. Yesterday was the first day in 2 months, maybe even longer, that my sales were not down a percentage. So yesterday I was out 0% down and I was at 0% up. So what that means is I wasn't down, I hadn't lost any money. Now so far for today, because sales do fall off every day, it's a rolling 90-day basis, I'm down 2.5%, but I feel like I can zero that out by the end of the day. So I got a lot of sales going out the door, but I'm only going to go over the 16 with you that are not on auction, because there's no point in talking about something that's sold on auction for 99 cents. So 16 orders is what I'm going to be going over with you guys today. Let me get to some of these questions, some of these comments from you guys, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail about what I got going on today. So Elizabeth Hunter says, yep, I'm trying to get rid of all those first year's mistakes, LOL. Sometimes I just want to get rid of everything and start over, but I'm trying to get my money back and a possible profit to boot. I agree with you there. Sometimes I feel like, man, what did I buy all this stuff for? Like, why did I do this to myself? Now I've got thousands of items that really aren't even worth being listed. And that's what this whole first shelf is right here, guys. Except for some of the bottom stuff. Some of the bottom stuff is up to about a year old, which was better buys. I just got to wait for the right buyer to come along. A lot of vintage stuff in there. Some of that vintage stuff will get pulled down, put on Whatnot. But I feel the same way. When we first get started out, we buy a lot of stuff that we probably should never even buy in the first place. We don't have the proper knowledge, the know-how. Some items don't sell the same way they do a year later. Some things fall off. Trends, prices, things don't sell for the same price they used to. I have that experience a lot of times. I was just in the Patreon this morning with a guy in there. We were going over sell comps from items that he was selling for $35, $40 and even higher in the year before. And we looked it up, and while the sales price is still moderate, a $45 item is only selling for $20 now. So that has to do with a lot, the economy, where the average sales price gets bought down by people that only have a certain amount to spend, and the buyer that needs the money. So they meet in the middle. Now that brings the average sales price down. So whereas you might have sold an item for 50 bucks, 65 bucks last year, you might be lucky to get 35 or $40 out of it this year, because both parties are desperate and the seller needs the money more than the buyer wants to spend it. So that just kind of tanked the market. That's not necessarily the end all be all on prices. All right, guys, might be time for a new GoPro. So anyway, the button up brand that we were talking about, the sales price on it might go up. There's a potential that the sales price could go up because the manufacturers stopped making them. So I've been seeing this brand quite a bit at the bins. I'm not going to say the brand because I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth, and if the potential is there, I'm going to start picking them up. But you will see it if it sells, and I'll let you guys know after I sell a few if it's worth you picking up or not. But been doing a lot of brand research inside the Patreon. If you guys want to join the Patreon, there's a 7-day free trial down below. You guys can come check it out. I do coaching calls Tuesday through Friday. Reseller Tom does coaching calls Tuesday and Thursday night for those of you that work a day job and still want to get value in the evening time. And there are call replays. There's Bolo brand list in there. There's a do not list in there. There's average cost of goods calculators and things like, well, number tracking supplies in there to where you guys can keep track of your numbers. And I'm going to get Cheryl Miller, my CPA slash tax lady, whatever you want to call her, inside the Patreon to do a tax call for those of you that need to get your taxes done. So be looking out for that within the next week or so, or the next 2 weeks. I'm waiting on her to finish up a detail in her workbook. So really trying to provide you guys with some value. I don't have, you know, what the big dogs have to offer you guys, but what I do have, I can give you. So, you know, with that being said, there are tons of options out there for coaching. I appreciate anyone that comes and gives me a chance. I'm the little guy. I do, you know, not have 15 years of selling experience, but I can get you to where I'm at. So Linda says, why did you stop selling shoes? I stopped selling shoes, number one, because I didn't want to clean them. When you're doing, like, I was doing 30 shoes a day, doing 30 listings of shoes a day, that requires a lot of time cleaning them. Then that requires a lot of time prepping them, because if you don't prep them far enough in advance, they're not going to be dry, or, you know, you might have a stain that you washed out upon appearance when it was wet, and then when it dried, the stain's still there. It's kind of like when you get toothpaste on your shirt. When you wipe it, it goes away, but when it dries up, you got a white spot on your shirt. And that's the same thing with sneakers. So I didn't have enough time to go out, source 30 pairs a day, clean those 30 pairs a day, and then get those 30 pairs listed a day. So I kind of just trickled out of it. I had a plug. My brother was working at a thrift store. He was able to get me as many pairs as I wanted, but then they switched departments on them, so I wasn't able to get the plug on the sneakers no more. So I was just like, I don't even enjoy this anyway, so I stopped. Now, while the ASP is good, I may pick up a pair or two here in the future. I don't know. I'm not totally opposed to it. They just got to be pristine condition, and I really just don't enjoy listing them. But that's what the beauty of a lister's for. They can list it for me. All I got to do is take pictures. Gabe Drum says, do you list daily? I know the rule of thumb is to list daily, but you mentioned you list only 3 days. Or do you schedule them to list 20 a day, but take all the photos and make the listings in 3 days? That's correct. I take all the photos of every listing that I do in a 3-day time span. That's 20 a day. And then I do shipping every day. I launch drafts every day. I do customer service every day. I come here to this warehouse every single day to do eBay, except for Saturday. I take Saturday completely off from eBay. But the rest of the week, I do other things inside my other businesses. And I just spend all the time that I'm not working on eBay building up other sides of other streams of income. But you can make a really good chunk of change working on eBay part-time. Cadmu says, I know you have a lot of listings on Poshmark, but after a certain point, you won't make that much money. I only keep 1,000 of my highest priced items so that I can share more often on eBay. I have all 7,000. Poshmark is about sharing to get it on top of search. Yeah, I know. I understand that, but I only share 1,000 items as many times as I can. It's a random 1,000 items. I'm not really, too concerned about Poshmark being like my #1 performing platform. It's just to get additional income based off what eBay doesn't sell. Now, with that being said, I have not been adding a lot of new items to Poshmark because I want the store size to shrink so I can get more eyes on my items. I'm aware of that, and I've actually said the same thing that you have just said in multiple videos when I first started selling on Poshmark. A lot of things I don't repeat, which I guess I need to, but people get tired of hearing the same thing over and over in every video. So while I understood that I was going to be flooding my store, I was going to decrease the amount of sales I was getting by putting my whole store on Poshmark, it was a risk that I wouldn't even say it was a risk. It was just what I did anyway. I do want to say thank you to that person that was telling me about the sales on Poshmark, because if I didn't know that, that would have been information that I that I needed. And hopefully somebody that hasn't started selling on Poshmark sees this, and then they're aware that if they do decide to start cross-listing, to try to keep their store small. First item going out is an American Eagle t-shirt. This used to be my t-shirt. Every few months, like three to 6 months, I clear out my closet. All the stuff that I wear, except for this jacket, is thrifted. So after a certain amount of months, I build up so much stuff that I just keep for myself, and I'll just put it back on eBay, or I'll put it on eBay and then just acquire more stuff. So this is an American Eagle t-shirt, men's medium, and it sold for $10. This is an Amazon employee shirt. Just the Amazon t-shirt from 2019. That sold for 15 bucks. Now, like I said in one of the last videos, I know that Amazon does Vero you for stuff. This is stuff that's been listed since they start handing out Veros that I'm aware of. It is from 2019, so it's 5 years old. So I don't know if they only go after stuff that's in current circulation, and that shirt is safe. But I have not I've stopped picking up Amazon stuff since I've seen a lot of Veros getting handed out. These are Wrangler pants, Wrangler 5-star khakis, sold for $6 when I put the store on auction. Wrangler still sells okay, decent enough. Every now and then something slides through the cracks though. These are Banana Republic jeans, women's 27, sold for 10 bucks. Then we got Nike sportswear jacket, a women's small, sold for 16 bucks. We got this Missouri Branson Lake shirt. I don't know why I said 90s on this, because that ain't 90s. Medium, men's medium tank top, Branson, Missouri, sold for $10.24. Then we got this Cabela's camouflage, black camouflage zip up hoodie. Let's see what this sold for. That is a men's medium, and it sold for 25 bucks. Then we have a vintage Nike hoodie. This I can find this type of stuff, you know, in the bins. I like to pick it up when I find it. This has stains on it. I don't know if you could tell from the end of the sleeves, but it's pretty dingy, pretty stained, pretty distressed. And this sold for $40. That's a men's medium as well. Okay guys, we got a Central Missouri State University shirt, made in the USA, sold for $12. That is a men's large. Got this Alfred Dunner shirt, women's extra large, that sold for a best offer of 12 bucks. Don't buy Alfred Dunner. Got these Carhartt pants. They are super distressed and there's holes in the knees. Those are men's 35, 34. I accepted an offer. Oh no, they sold for 12 bucks. This is these vintage 517 Levi's 3632 with the orange tab. Super distressed, stained, holes all in them. Those sold for a best offer of 80 bucks. And then we got this Lands' End button-down shirt, men's 17.5, sold for $12. Don't pick up Lands' End, guys. It's not a good brand. Doesn't sell fast either. So here's the thing with selling things, right? You need to be able to like dive into the comps, check out what brands and what sizes sell well, what things inside of certain categories and certain brands sell well. So Levi's jeans, for instance, those Levi's sold for 80 bucks. I had them listed for 125. I took a best offer of 80, but the old me would have listed those and took an offer of $10 on them, right? Lack of knowledge. As you do this stuff, guys, you gain knowledge. You understand what looks cool, what makes an item worth selling more than the next item. I can pick up 2 pairs of Levi's 505, right? Or Levi's 550, something you can find everywhere. But if there's a nice wash on them or some distress, that automatically makes them go for more money than the pair that has no flaws. And you would say, well, why does a pair that's flawed go for more money? Certain people that like denim, not all people will be willing to pay for a pair of jeans that has distress or fading on the wash or holes and stuff like that. And there's a certain caliber of person that's willing to pay for that. And you got to know that buyer. Now, when you know that buyer and you know that they're willing to pay for that because it gives jeans character, or it makes it, you know, look cooler. It makes it look like they've, you know, a person loves vintage denim. if they're a denim head. So they're going to be willing to pay more for that. Now, a person that's trying to wear these jeans out on a date or wear them to church or just, you know, to the club or whatever they're going to wear them to, they don't want that. That's not what they're going for. So there's a demographic, right, to who you target your items to. And if you know this when you're picking it up, if you know this when you're outsourcing, you know that this item might be worth more than the item that's not. I bring up the store Aged Ivy a lot on Instagram. They have a lot of stuff that the younger person's wearing. I find this type of stuff all the time, and there's stains on this stuff, there's holes on this stuff, paint, whatever the case may be. A person my age is not going to wear that unless they just want to look like they're 20, you know, but the 20-year-old through 30-year-old, they're wearing that stuff. So I pick it up. I pick up certain stuff and I use right keywords to target it to the person that I want it to go to. And that's how I'm able to get some of these prices on ridiculous stuff that I find in the bins. And that's what makes the bins worth going to for me. A lot of people aren't they're not trying to pick up anything that has a stain on it or a hole. They want flawless condition stuff, and that's fine. That stuff sells for good money. I don't have that option here near me where I'm at. I don't have very much options. I just went out to the thrift store yesterday locally to me. I picked up 20 items and paid $189. To me, that's ludicrous. I can get a whole week's worth of inventory. I can get a whole week's worth of listings, 20 a day for $150 at the bins. I got 1 day's worth of listings for $189. And these items were things that I could find in the bins, no problem. It just makes no sense for me to thrift locally. So that's why I go to the bins and do what I do, because it makes much more sense for me to get way more out of my money. That's how you earn a living, by paying the least amount for your items, you know, and selling it for the most that you can. It doesn't make any sense to pay $189 7 days a week to get 20 items a day when I could do that 1 day a week and get all my items. These are the last 3 items on eBay before I get into the Poshmark sales. These kids' Vans I had listed for a long time. I sent an offer on them. So those sold for $450. As I said, these sold for $450. I got this Pepperdine University hat. This is from The Game as the brand, just a snapback hat. That sold for $17. And that was listed for, I want to say, about 3 months, because I get these hats and then I list them, you know, in droves. But I've been listing hats lately, so the hats have been selling. Listed this hat about 2 weeks ago, maybe maximum, maybe a week ago. And it's St. Louis Blues is the hat, but it's just a camouflage Realtree hat. It's stained and, you know, yellowed all in there. Pretty grimy, pretty gross. And I pointed that out. So when James says that he sells these hats in that condition and he gives it character and characteristics and people like that stuff, he's not lying. This person bought this hat. They couldn't figure out how to pay, which had never happened to them before. So obviously eBay was having a glitch. I ended the listing. They ended up paying more for the hat than they did on the first time. They sent an offer of $18. Then they went out and paid full price for it using the store coupon. So that sold for $25. So those are the last of the eBay items. Now I'm going to get into these 4 Poshmark orders that I got. Before I get into those Poshmark orders, like I said, guys, I use Vendu. Vendu's coming in clutch for me. I think it will help you guys too. So there's a 25% off code down below in the description. If you guys want to try Vendu out, give it a try. You know, all you gotta do is try it. If you don't like it, bounce after a month. You know, I do think you will like it and you will see some sales. It's going to help pad the pocket on the sales that you're missing out on eBay. But eBay's been, you know, eBay's been good to me. I'm definitely thankful for eBay, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to take 4 extra sales today because of it. So 20 sales total, 16 on eBay, 4 on Poshmark. I'm okay with that. So let's pull out these Poshmark sales, show you guys what's up. All right, guys, so one of these items I actually shipped yesterday. This Graceland, vintage Graceland sweatshirt I shipped yesterday on Poshmark, but it's not showing tracking, so I gotta deal with that. I have been seeing a lot of people have problems with items arriving. A member of my Patreon just had an item she shipped out that the buyer said they never received, and Poshmark did side in their favor. But these sales right here are going to be, this is a Madeira Beach, Florida shirt, women's or men's extra large, sold for $10. women's North Face hoodie, a small, sold for 20 bucks. Then we got this Popular Poison shirt, just got Madonna on the front of it. It says good vibes, men's medium, and that sold for 12 bucks. So that's gonna do it for this one. Actually, I got this box of inventory from someone, a subscriber of the channel, so big shout out to you that has come. I haven't busted it open to see what's in there, but I appreciate you sending me some inventory. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Hope you guys are doing well. Catch you guys on the next one. Until then, let's make this cash, guys. Peace.